A lot of reasons that I love my little Dutch Shepherds. Right now I just threw a bottle out there. Remember, they were already the bottle brigade. They're used to this. But watch what happens when I throw two more. These are novel items, right? And there's 3 of them in there. Yay! Yay! And they will go crazy on that. Now they've got a little ball out there. They've got this other item. Those are in their kennel all day long, so they lose interest in them. You throw something new in there, and that's a whole different story. Now they're all over it. Good dog, yay, good dogs. Bite, 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 bite. Interaction with the pack. Good dog. Yeah. Good dog. Playing keep away. She is a cocky little girl, boy. That's Diana playing keep away. Look at her, look at her. Her ears folded back, but that's all right. Good girl, Diana. Good girl. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Little feisty, little feisty. So now I'm going to go out and kind of stimulate them by kicking around the things. Let's go into their cage. They'll attack me right off the bat. And talking about Stamp. Hi, Diana. Hi. It's Diana. And Dioge's the only one without the collar. Dioge, yeah. And Lucifer's got a weird ear on the top. Hopefully he'll grow into those ears. But good dog, yay! Come on, let's go. There's where that stimulation comes in. Right when I start doing my whip lag, that's been imprinted, and you keep that up, and that'll take them into drive every time because they get used to it, right? Good dog, yay! Good dog, yay! Good girl, Diana. Good girl. That's definitely a good-looking crew. And now Dioge is my second pick. You got Diana and Dioge. Lucifer's taking a back seat. He's a good little dog, but I don't like his ears. But Dioge has got that look that he's going to be a badass mother blank. He's got some genetic stamps coming from his dad, from Arrow, that are showing. Okay, and this is real important because I've always had the argument that there's a certain amount of genetic stamp that you have control over when they're pliable, when they're young. And if you do the right thing and you're aware of, so being the breeder, I'm aware of Arrow. So I know his propensities and what he is as far as the beast that he is that I'm dealing with. So when I see the little puppy having the same kind of manifestations that could grow into a problem, I'm going to nip it in the bud. And this little guy, every time I go out of that cage and I go through the door, Dioge, hits that door and starts getting really aggressive. If I walk in at that time, he's really wanting to hit me. Just like when I saw Arrow flipping on that kennel. Remember, coming at me real strong like he did, right? So that's a genetic stamp. It's there. So it's real important to be aware of and cognizant of behavioral traits that are going to grow into a problem if you don't nip them in the bud when they're young. So right away I'm redirecting that. I'm taking his brain to a different place, and I'm teaching him not to do that. And I'll stay on him real slow and subtle and very methodical, stopping that behavior. Otherwise it's going to grow into his dad, right? So that's the one advantage we have when you're the breeder and you know the breed traits and the characteristics, the propensities of his father. I can see it in the puppy and right away know that that's what that is. It's a breed stamp that's coming from dad. Where it comes from genetically, there's people that really get into studying their bloodlines and they'll actually hone down and say this is the dogs 60 years ago that are manifesting this negative type of behavior. But it is what it is. There's always some pro and con, meaning there's a good and bad, a yin and yang that come with that. The reason I took Arrow, even with all the problems he's got and the propensities he's got being a dangerous dog, was his drive states. They're so intense. I've never seen a dog with that kind of intense and true aggression, right? Where he is really full of himself and really true aggression where it really hasn't been taught to him. He's learned it with his genetic stamps and who he is as an individual. That being the case, I was very impressed with that, because this was true raw aggression, right? That to me is very interesting because it's rare. Usually we actually produce this with how we work the dog, and we actually bring it out in the animal and we condition it, okay? 90% of the dogs is all conditioned behavior, but there's very few that have that real true, down deep, real true aggression. And Arrow, as far as I'm concerned, has that. He is all that and then some. He thinks he's God, and that mental attitude. Well, Diogi would be the exact same thing if I let it get out of hand and I don't take care of it, okay? So I will be molding, shaping, and forming, but with that also comes a drive state, the